They lived in Paolisi, which is in the Benevento province in Italy. It's up in the mountains above Naples. Okay, so the men would come to America, and Grandpa Tony Tancredi came with his brother Peter, and they settled in Mechanicville, where there were already people from Paolisi. Worked hard, apprenticed in a grocery store, and then went back to get his bride. He thought he was going to marry Louisa, but in the time he was gone, Louisa had fallen in love with Raphael. She didn't want Tony anymore. So Tony said to their mother, I'll take the next sister. The next sister was Stella. She said, I don't know this man. He wanted to marry my sister. And her mother said, this might be your only chance to get to America. So she agreed. They had a little betrothal ceremony in the church in Paolisi. So Tony came back to America, and Stella came over with the Parada family to Mechanicville. They landed in Boston, and the captain of the ship would not let her get off the ship in Boston with this man. They weren't married. He did a shipboard ceremony. They sat on a park bench in Boston all night waiting for the passage in the train to Mechanicville. They got to Mechanicville, finally were married in the Church of the Assumption, Italian parish in Mechanicville by Father Aragema. At that time, Tony Tancredi was apprenticing in a grocery store, I think the DeLucia grocery store. So that was 1910. Next thing you know, their son arrives. The next year comes Daisy. The next is Argentina. Next is a little boy who died in the Spanish flu. And then in 1920, the youngest daughter, Helen. In the meantime, Antonio had made enough money to build his own grocery store, which he did, Depot Square. The building is still there. It says Tancredi, 1921. And they moved there, and they had a prosperous grocery store that made it through the Depression. They had a great meat market.